Hi, and welcome to Mikey's Lab. Today we're doing a quick product review on a new soldering iron that I got. It's a tiny little portable TS100 soldering iron from Banggood.com. When you get it, it will come in this package, and it looks a little toyish, but to be honest, I have been thoroughly impressed with this soldering iron. We'll dive up close at the bench and take a closer look. Okay, so we've transitioned over to the bench at this point. We're going to take a detailed look at this soldering station, or rather soldering iron that I got from Banggood. I've been really impressed with the quality of it so far, but let's take a look at what you get for your money. When it comes in the mail, it's going to have this package right here. Right, and if you just go ahead and slide the box out, and it's a pretty box, but I'll probably never use it again. Right, we take the top part out of here, and what's inside here, it looks like it's the instruction manual. Okay. We get an Allen key. We get the soldering iron tip itself. As you can see, I've used this a fair bit. And we get the control unit itself. We also get another little screw. You'll notice that there's an Allen key screw right here. That's for inserting and clamping down on the tip itself. I kind of wish that the transporting package that they had sent us could have held on to the unit with the tip installed. It would have made it a lot more reusable than what comes with it at this point. Because once you install the tip, there's no way that it can fit in the box. And we'll go ahead and just tighten that down. Alright, so one of the things you'll notice immediately with this unit is that it doesn't come with a power supply. This seems like a major oversight on the company who makes this. And it's one of the pieces that I'm just not happy with. Right? I believe it should come with its power supply. I believe the power supply is cheap enough to run with it. I do like the voltage range that this offers. If we take a look at the markings for the voltage range, right? If we flip it over, apparently they do not have the markings. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that, if there's any chance that this will focus on this. You can see that it accepts 12 to 24 volts in order to function. Now, this offers the possibility of powering this thing from a LiPo battery. Frequent viewers will remember that one of my other hobbies is that I'm a drone pilot. So what this allows me to do is to power this soldering iron, which is fully temperature controlled, with a LiPo battery. That makes it for great in-field repairs. So far, I have been actually impressed with this unit. Out here is an 18-volt power supply. And if we just plug that in, you can see the very first thing that it says is for me to press a button to start. So, I normally use a Heiko soldering station, a Heiko FX888D, which is by far the best soldering station I've ever used. And make no mistake, the quality of this soldering iron doesn't come anywhere near the quality of the Heiko. But this doesn't have the huge transformer, this doesn't have the huge weight, and trust me, the Heiko's not without its issues. Setting the temperature on a Heiko is annoying at best, and I have to look it up every time I need to change the temperature. That is one thing that the makers of the TS100 definitely got right. So I'm going to go ahead and press start, and you're going to see something I was actually impressed with. If you watch that temperature climb, and remember that this is a portable soldering iron running off of an 18-volt power supply, the speed at which it gets to temperature is rather impressive, to be honest. Right, we're already up at 190 degrees Celsius. Right, we are well over halfway now through to the temperature that I normally solder at, which is about 400 degrees Celsius. And yes, before everybody screams at me in the comments, I know that that's really high. We're at 325, and I can definitely smell the heat now. I'm going to go ahead and grab some solder. So definitely at temperature within about 30 seconds. And just to prove it, we'll pick up the soldering iron and touch it to the solder, and the solder melts instantly, which is just phenomenal. Right. I am a little neurotic with my soldering tips, so I'm going to clean this right away, if you don't mind. The only other talking point that I really have, and it's kind of a fiddly negative on my part, the device itself is so light that the cable that comes off for the power supply tends to outweigh the device, and it leaves your hand feeling, well, imbalanced, to be honest. This unit is $80. And for what it is, and for that cost, this is an absolutely phenomenal soldering station. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who does field work, right, or any drone racers that are out there that wants to do field repair. It's much easier, much more portable to carry this around than it is the Heiko station. So even if you're at an event that happens to have power in the pits, this still might be your best bet, just simply because of its portability. There has been a couple of firmware updates for it too. And if you do look at the side here, you'll notice that there is a USB port. Now, it can't be powered from the USB port, right? But the firmware inside of this soldering iron can be updated from that USB port. And as I mentioned before, with one of my issues with the Heiko, right? To change the temperature on this one, I simply hit a button, right? And I can dial back to exactly the temperature that I want. And it should lock into that temperature, and you can see it dropping now. Now, the ironic part for me is that it doesn't seem to lose heat as fast as it can gain it. It seems to be better at heating up than cooling off. I guess that's kind of the side that you don't really care about when you're using a soldering station, is how fast it cools off. But you've got the flip side that this doesn't come with a stand, which is another one of my negatives for this device. I would have liked to have seen it come with a small portable stand, possibly built into some kind of travel case, since it's obvious that portability is what this company was after and what this device is supposed to target. So if you're targeting portability, not having a stand, and making me disassemble this unit in order to transport it in the packaging that you provided, are two big negatives, but honestly, they're the only negatives that exist in this device. So my opinion is simple. This device is a remarkable soldering iron. It's great for emergency repairs. It's great for in-field repairs. You're going to see me use it more and more on the channel. There's a video coming up in the very near future where we're doing the 8x8x8 LED matrix assembly, right, of the actual physical cube. You'll see me using it there, and the reason that I use it for that one is there's a lot of intricate soldering that's right next to other things. So at that point, to be honest, the smaller tip, the smaller form factor of the soldering iron, it just works awesome. It also gave me a really good chance to use it to have something to talk about with this review. If you ask me which one would I recommend, my Heiko FX888D or this one, I'm going to have to say it depends. It depends on what you're using it for. If you're using it all the time for low gauge wire, if you're using it all the time at the same spot on a bench as your primary soldering station, then I would definitely still recommend the Heiko. However, if you're looking for something that you can use in the field, something that is simple, something with temperature control, and something that offers you a wide range of powering options, well, you can't go wrong with the TS100, right? Especially for how cheap this thing actually is. Of course, that is just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments. Talk to me about what you've experienced with this particular brand, since I've never heard of this brand before. They came out of nowhere for me. And let me know what you think of this soldering iron. I will leave a link in the description below of where you can get this soldering iron. As I said, it's around $80 Canadian, which isn't too bad. And, so thank you for tuning into Mikey's Lab. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, tell me why in the comments below. Any questions, concerns, comments, by all means, box provided by YouTube below. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Also, there is a little bell icon button beside the subscribe button. If you click that, it will guarantee that you are notified of every new video I post. So I heavily recommend you click on that.